hello there, and we are live. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another episode of Gunnerz and Magz Premier League Show, Season 2, Episode 6. See, Steve doesn't come to the channel all the time, because, he's not putting much work into his channel. He has other things doing. But you know what? Yeah, sometimes when I hit his jack and say, brother, man, come and show this channel some love. The Google of football, as I publicly want to start calling him right now. Yeah. He's down here with us. And every moment I get to, have of this brother down here on this channel, I really cherish it because he's someone that, they need him everywhere, and he's very, very busy as a person too. So every little time I have with this brother, man, I cherish every moment. See, no other person than the Google of football, Newcastle fan, Strasbourg fan. See, guys, see, it doesn't get better than this, Steve Mahala. Steve, talk to these people, man. How you doing, brother? Talk to them.
I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm just freezing. In New Hampshire right now, it's like I think -10 degrees Celsius last time I checked. So my house, it's a bit freezing at the moment. It's
a bit
pretty
freezing,
cold.
Yeah. See, man,
I'm good, bro.
You're welcome to change it with mine. Yeah, I've been sitting on -20, -10. My brother, man, Steve Mahala. You would not last. You would not last.
Oh no, I would. No, Tony. Because Chicago, Illinois, it gets that cold too. It gets that cold too. The Windy City.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
It gets cold, but you know what it is with Finland? It's like it's close to year round cold, right? Like all the time.
Almost, yeah. But during the summer months, it's extremely hot down here, man.
Yeah,
extremely hot
down
here. During the summer months, I'm talking of June, July, and August. We get lots of
summer.
And then, just before we go into the main winter. See, Steve Mahala, I know you're a Newcastle fan, but see, lots of things happening in the league. Of course, Arsenal's wins, Newcastle's game that was played. We'll also be looking into their future game. Lots of things happening. But the first one I would like to start you off with today is Manchester City. See, where do we start from this Manchester City issue? Yeah, there's a conflict of interest with Manchester City and Girona. Of course, you know about this. Manchester City acquired 44% stake. Not Man City, but of course the City Group. That owns Man City acquired 44%, of Girona, which makes them, the owners of that football club. See, if the rule there is if Manchester City qualifies for the Champions League next season, depending on the standings, if they go higher than Girona, they go to the Champions League. If Girona finishes above Manchester City in the standings in their own respective league, they will go. If they stay in the same if they stay in the same standings,
they both finish first
place. Go by the coefficient. Yeah, they'll go by the coefficient.
Man City obviously has.
Yeah, but again, this is the big thing that's down there. If both of them qualify for the Champions League, City Group will have to cut down on their stakes in that 44% and make themselves a lesser shareholder. That is, they don't have to own the football club. So they definitely, someone will have to drop. Yeah, you can't own two clubs and go with.
You just have to prove. You have to prove that they're two separate entities, basically.
Two separate entities. Steve Mahala, please, could you just shed light into what's going on with Manchester City? Mind you, these guys still have 115 charges lingering on their necks. And again, with the papers, I saw that Manchester City wants to go to court for something that I don't just really understand. Can you make us understand what's really going on with Manchester City? and the whole politics going on between Girona and them, and again Savio, the 19-year-old, young player,
Yeah.
who has a fantastic season
Yes. Yes.
at Girona,
Yeah.
is going to come to Manchester City. Can you tell us the politics and the
Mm,
interplay with both politics between Man City and Girona, and the ramifications of what's going to happen because of this transfer of Savio, the
mm.
115 charges leveled against them, and why is Man City going to court? If everything is okay on their side, talk to us and extensively talk about this.
Mm. Um, well, with the whole Girona thing, yeah, on paper, they're gonna have to basically work it through UEFA to prove that they're two separate sporting entities. We saw this with RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg, obviously
Mm,
owned in the by Dietmar. What is it? Dietmar Hoffmann, the guy, the Austrian dude who owns Red Bull, right? So it's a Red Bull group. So they
yeah,
had to just they just had to prove that they were two different sporting entities. The same thing will happen with OGC Nice and Manchester United because of the Ineos
yeah.
connection. Obviously, we also see with AC Milan and Toulouse. They entered this
Mm,
season under the same Redbird ownership group. And now they both compete in the Europa League. So there have been exceptions made pretty much every time in terms of, you know, a person owns a club in this country and that country and they meet in Europe. So they'll make it work. It's just more of a check. I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like if when you cross the border from the US to Canada or the US to Mexico, it's a checkpoint.
yeah,
They want to
like checks and balances, right? Like checks
Yeah,
and
yeah, they just
balances,
wanna
right?
they just wanna yeah, exactly. It's like, you can't just go across the border like it's nothing, like it's in Europe. No, when you cross
Like
from the
it's
US to
nothing. Yeah.
Mexico border, you have to it's a checkpoint. They just check, they ask you where you going, what you doing. So that's what it is for me in terms of the multi-club ownership competing in Europe. I don't have a problem with it with Girona and Manchester City. I believe they will get that exception because on every other occasion they've given that exception. So I don't see the issue
Mm,
there. In terms of Savio, yeah, that's going to be one of those signings where they buy him, but he's going to go straight on a loan back to Girona, from what I'm hearing um, online. So yeah, that's going to be an excellent
uh,
signing. Very, very good signing for
uh,
them. So
but again, before we go into the profile of that Savio guy that they've just signed, yeah, see, what we've heard is that he's going to come to Manchester City. I've not heard about a loaning back to Girona. He's a very
yeah, that's what I
talented
heard.
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, in the grand scheme of things, this is where there's a big problem with having two clubs that are not separate entities. Yeah, let's
Mm.
say I'm Arsenal Football Club. I'm going for Savio. We all know Girona owners is the same thing with Manchester City.
And
Will
Estac
will
So actually,
Girona attend to me the same
one,
way they're gonna
yeah.
attend to Manchester City? That's the problem. It's not competitive in terms of the price won't be competitive with
Mm.
how Arsenal will want to come to buy this particular player. It will be different from what City we have to pay for this guy, and it's cheating in a way. But what do you think about it, Steve Mahala? It's not a level playing field for everyone to come shop, buy, and transfer players.
I think it is fair because Tony, you guys own the Colorado Rapids of MLS. So let's say, and American footballers, there are some good ones that come from Major League Soccer. Alfonso Davies, Tyler
Mhm.
Adams. You have Przemysław
Yeah,
Frankowski at Lons, who was playing in the Champions League against Arsenal. He came from Poland, went
I
to
hear you.
MLS. So they're good players. There's some good players in MLS. Let's say the Colorado Rapids have an 18-year-old wonder kid, the next Pulisic, the next Pele, whatever. Let's say you have the same
Mm,
scenario. This kid on the Rapids is tearing up the league, best player in the league. Real Madrid want him, Barca, Man United, Man City, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, just all the PSV want him. Everybody wants him, right? You own the
Yeah. Yeah.
Colorado Rapids, so you'll get first
Mm.
dibs. You'll get first dibs on. I'm bringing this kid over to Arsenal, and then I'm loaning him out. You saw that with Austin Trusty. You saw that
Yeah.
with another one. You had another player that you bought from the Rapids, and you sold them for a few bucks. So it is fair for me because you guys have. And think about it. In MLS, you have a rule called the designated player rule, the Beckham rule, right? David Beckham got paid a
Yeah. Yeah.
hell of a load of David Beckham got paid a hell of a load of money to come to LA Galaxy. The league
Yeah.
made an exception for that. He made more David Beckham made more money himself in one season than some clubs were generating in revenue plus paying their players. So you have that exception. You have that exception that you
Sure.
can exploit. No, but nothing's stopping you, and especially because there's not FFP per se in the US. There's nothing stopping you from having a player, buying him as the Rapids and loaning him to Arsenal, or just selling him for market value to Arsenal. So that's why I don't believe it's unfair. And Manchester United will have that with Nice. You actually look at a lot of the clubs in the league, they have
It's unfair.
connections with other European clubs. Brighton have Union Saint-Gilloise. They have connections with a few Japanese clubs. Aston Villa have a connection now with Vissel Kobe. You know, Japan are producing some very talented players. They'll probably bring in a player from Japan in the coming years.
Very talented players.
That's theirs. For me, it's like in life, bro. I have connections that you don't have with certain people, and you have connections that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's the world. Sometimes you have an advantage in some it all equals out. So for me, with the Man City buying Savio, I don't have a problem with it. So Chelsea have Strasbourg as well.
You don't have a problem with that. See, Steve, shout out to everyone who is in the charts. Anthony Herbert, DJ Crane, Ellie Dawes, Football TV. Shout out to you. That's my brother too. I hope you're well, Ellie Dawes TV. I hope you're well. Rosie McDuff is also down here with us. Big ups to you, Rosie McDuff. See, Steve Mahala, before we get out of this topic about this FFP rules, 115, infringements going to Man City and all of that. What's the line? What's the line? That you would love to see that either UEFA should bring up to make sure that everyone is playing in a level playing field when it comes to transfers, when it comes to purchasing power, when it comes to creating an avenue where every other club to these clubs and get these players, and can actually have have a fighting chance to get players from that club, even if it's owned by a sister club of that club that's the selling club. Should there be balances in this thing? Like, what are the lines that you would love to see? What kind of rules would you like to see that should come in and kind of like sanitize what we're seeing right now?
I think it's already fair because, all right, so we looked at it from the Man City, the Chelsea perspective of they own a smaller club. Girona benefit from this. Girona, before 2019, had spent one season in La Liga. You flash forward 4 years, they're challenging for a league title. They lost heavily to Real Madrid at the weekend, but their club has been elevated because of Manchester City. So it's actually a beneficial partnership. It really is. Because they get access to these Man City players. New York City FC is another club that Man City have. You could go down and down. They have one in Uruguay, that Melbourne City in Australia. Those clubs benefit from those players that are on the books of the City group. Chelsea can send players to Strasbourg. We have the connection with the 4 Saudi clubs that we didn't use, ironically, in the window. We could have brought in a Ruben Neves on loan or Sergei Milinkovic-Savic or whatever. So if we chose to use that, that's fair because Man City have this connection. You have the connection with the Rapids. There's nothing stopping Stan Kroenke buying a club in France and doing the same thing, right? If you bought FC Metz, you would have first dibs on any decent Senegalese youngster up and coming because all the good 90%, I want to say, of every Senegalese player has stopped at FC Metz.
Yeah.
And they've had other good players like Pires as well. They have Robert Pires, Sadio Mane. You have a lot of Senegalese players that stop at Metz. So if you wanted to do that, that would be beneficial to Metz and to you guys, right? Sometimes it's just one of those where, it doesn't look equal at first, but nothing is stopping other clubs from partnering with clubs, not even just Europe to Europe, like FC Dallas have a strategic partnership with PSV Eindhoven. FC Dallas have a partnership with Bayern. You know, Chris Richards, the Palace player, he was bought.
The Palace guy,
Yeah, so he was bought from FC Dallas. Bayern bought him and then sold him on to Palace for a profit. So that everyone benefited in that move.
Yeah.
Everyone. FC Dallas got good money. Their reputation was enhanced because Bayern München bought a player from them. That in itself is a prestige thing for the MLS. And the player benefited because now he's at a Premier League side compared to FC Dallas.
Are you advocating for a free market? Are you advocating for a free market where those strings are a little bit detached? Yeah, because the way you're talking,
where do you think the strings are detached?
You don't want there to be some kind of stringent rules like tying these football clubs and restricting the amount of money in the system.
No, because it benefits, like I said, it benefits both parties. New York City FC benefited from Jack Harrison playing for them. Tati Castellanos, who plays at Lazio now, he was in the City group, also played at Girona. Austin Trusty as well, went from Rapids to Arsenal, and you sold them for a good profit, right?
Yeah.
That's just connections, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think, like I said, this happens in the business world all the times. You have business partners and connections with people in different companies that you benefit from that others don't. But there are other benefits that other people get because they have different connections. This is one of those, Tony. For me, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like if Stan Kroenke bought Metz, like I said, you would benefit because you would have dibs to a lot of up and coming young Senegalese players. Same with the Colorado Rapids. So for me, there's no problem because everyone benefits and there's nothing stopping anyone from doing it. For me.
Yeah, from doing it. Yeah, see, I totally get you. I totally get you. It's just that sometimes I just really feel like there should be some certain kind of checks and balances.
Like what?
Check these things. Let's hope that these guys aren't cooking the books. Manchester City, they're moving on a keg of gunpowder. I really do think that investigations should still keep going on. Into that 115 charges. Something is down there. It's either they're cooking the books, allegedly. Something is going on down there. Yeah, something is going on down there. The books should be checked.
No, they are investigating it. That's what's taking so long.
Let's just see what's happening.
Yeah,
let's just see what's happening. Steve Mahala, another one of these topics here before we go into core football that encircles the part of the Premiership is Ratcliffe. Manchester United have already a major shareholder. Is holding 25% stake in Manchester United. He is also claimed in most of the respected dailies I've seen that he's going to invest a whooping £1 billion. See, I'm not saying that would be for transfers alone. I'm hearing that it could be in terms of refurbishing the club, repairing the dilapidated infrastructure down there at Manchester United, and also in terms of signings. And I also heard he's on a keg of gunpowder. What do you think, Steve Mahala? Do you think this is something different? We've already seen changes already. A new CEO that came from Manchester City has already gotten into Manchester United. More so, we're also hearing that there might also be. I heard that all these changes will be coming down there too. What do you think about Manchester United? Where does this put them? Do you think it will galvanize them, change them? What do you think? And do you still think that Eric Ten Hag's job is still safe?
I mean, look, clearly Jim Ratcliffe is willing to put money behind the project. He's looking to get our, Newcastle's looking to get our what's it called? Our freaking sporting director Dan Ashworth in. That would be pretty annoying, but if he wants to go, he can go. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, clearly Ratcliffe has some ambition there, and if the Glazers just stay out the way and just let him do what he thinks needs to be done in terms of appointing Barada, and evaluating Eric Ten Hag's job. It it looks like a positive change for sure for Manchester United. So it is what it is. Yeah, I think they it looks like that they're what's it called? It looks like they're going in the right direction from what it seems like. But you never know. You never know. The Glazers can come in at any time. They're the majority owners still. They can just say, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Right? So they have the final say on anything. So you never know. Yeah. You never know. They've sabotaged things before. It wouldn't be out of the realm if they did it again. So, but yeah, it looks like they're appointing a lot of good people off the playing field for the the club infrastructure. So yeah, fair play. I mean, that's what Man United fans have wanted for a long time, and so now they'll get that. So yeah, it does look like it's a positive sort of thing for them.
Steve Mahala, Newcastle United. See, they've played 24 games. See, you have 36 points on the plate. Right now, you're actually seventh in the league. Just I think just over 5 points behind Manchester United. Steve Mahala, you're in European positions right now. See, Steve, you gave Longhead Yeti a Congo slap last weekend, beating them away from home at the City ground, 3 goals to 2. Steve Mahala gloat about this, like just scoring a double last weekend ground. Could you tell us all about that matchup?
I think you froze up. I think you froze up a little bit. You might want to come out and come back in because you're frozen right now, and I didn't hear some of the stuff you said. Yeah, you're frozen. Oh, you're back now. You're back. I think. Yeah. I think you're back now. You back? Yeah, come out and come back in. That's what I would do.
I'm back. Yeah,
you're back. You're back. All right, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, with Newcastle when we played Forest, I thought for actually a large part of that game, they actually played a bit better than us. I can't lie. That's probably one of the better displays I've seen from Forest this season, attacking wise. Their mistakes cost them a lot. For me, their mistakes definitely cost them the 3 points there. And Bruno, 2 excellent strikes, and Fabian Schär as well, right place, right time. Love me some Fabian Schär. I don't think he's been in the best form defensively, but he is scoring some goals as a center back, which is always a luxury you want to have. Not the best performance. I think defensively, it's completely forget about it. We're not that defensive team anymore. Not that defensive team anymore at all. So, I think we can score goals for fun, which is the good thing because that's the hardest thing to do in football. But our defense is shaky to say the very least. But 7th place, I'm stunned because I thought we were, it doesn't seem like long ago where we were 11th and 10th, kind of that Chelsea range and Brighton. So, but West Ham have completely dropped like a stone in terms of their form. West Ham, they haven't won a game since December. You guys absolutely beat the brakes off them 6-0. So yeah, it's good. I think if Newcastle can finish 7th, I would absolutely 100% take that right here, right now. So I would. Who do Domino's think they are? $7.99 for 2 cookies. Jesus. Tony put another Finnish coin in the broadband. Yeah, he needs to insert the coin again. You there, Tony? You there? But yeah, I'll just keep chatting.
Yeah. Steve, I'm there. It's just that I'm trying to reboot my stuff. I'm trying to
No
reboot,
worries.
but Steve. So that matchup against Nottingham Forest, like. Does it really, like, did it really show you?
You there? You're cutting in and out. Yeah, he's definitely cutting in and out. Oh, and my camera decided to just fucking disappear. Jesus. All right, I'm back. Jesus Christ. Tony, you there? Tony, I would try to, It's early doors. He's put a spell on Tony's internet because of the Arsenal win. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know where Tony went, but big up everybody in the chat. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to subscribe to Tony's channel. I'm gonna put on a jacket because it's outrageously cold in my house. Very, very cold, but oh my god. Fucking hell. But yeah, big up everybody. Yeah, he's coming for Anthony Herbert next. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Tony. I would like what's it called? Maybe restart your computer or something. Come in and out. But yeah, big up everybody. Hey, big up Manny Tangadarai. My apologies. Steve, what do you think about the Rangers game, bud? Should win. I think we got Ross County tonight. Should be winning that. Should be winning that game. Celtic. I can't believe that Hibernian game last week was a killer, man. They got that last minute penalty. Yes, yeah, Drew Gunnerz. I'm a Lazio fan. I am. East Coast has a winter storm. Yeah, it's very cold. Very, very, very cold. Long hair Yeti's cave. Big up, Steve. Deserved the win, man. Can't defend like that great up front, though. 100%. Yeah, both of our defenses were lacking on the night. I do think that Forest should explore the possibility of playing Murillo and that Irish kid, Adam. I can't pronounce his name, and I'm usually good at pronunciation of names, but I think that partnership might be a little bit better in terms of Oh, you're back?
I'm back, man. See, I had to. I never knew that my contract was ended. I had to pay for another contract again live. See, guys, See, that's why I have Steve Mahala here to cover up for me. See, but Steve, in the grand scheme of things, Newcastle out of domestic competitions, out of the Carabao Cup, definitely
FA Cup, we're still
in that final. In the FA Cup,
yeah, we're still in the FA Cup.
The FA Cup?
No, we got Blackburn away.
Are you still in the FA Cup?
Yes. You're asking a Newcastle fan if we're still in the yeah, we are.
But again, do you think that Eddie Howe is looking at that FA Cup Or do you
Has to
think he would
be.
just concentrate on pushing for Europe this season? Like, where do you think the loyalties lie right now? Do you think he's gonna be saying, you know what, yeah, let me go for that FA Cup, push it hard, or do you think he'll just say, hey man, let me just fight for top five, top six?
No, no, we're
Because
gonna
they're
go create.
seventh, the seventh. If they push harder, they can get within touching distance of Tottenham Hotspur with that fourth position,
Mm.
as far
No,
as
we
I'm
should. No, no,
concerned.
no, 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 Tony, Tony. You know me. You know me. You know how much I love the FA Cup. You know how much I appreciate that tournament and how much a trophy would mean to Newcastle United. You've known me for a good amount of time. I've always talked about when Newcastle win a trophy for the first time since 1955, 56. That is the weight that needs to be lifted off our shoulders immediately, as soon as possible. It's great to finish fifth and sixth and
Mm,
fourth and all this stuff. And it's good because, considering how decimated our squad has been at some points of the season, we don't have Joe Ellington right now, no Tonali. Harvey Barnes is thankfully coming back from injury. Isak is injured. Botman's been out with some injuries. I could go on and on and on.
mm,
Dan Burn had a month or two out, so Livermento played. No, the FA Cup should be the priority. And the thing is, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. The aim that Eddie Howe has is to win every game
mm.
possible. That's the attitude, and that's his stance on that. Right? Win every game possible. We don't,
Yeah.
I listened to his press conference after the game, and he was still saying about some things that needed to be fixed up in terms of the midfield, dealing with transition moments, which Forest did very well in. Sometimes they just couldn't finish off their chances. So
Mm,
even in victory, Eddie
mm.
Howe still does reflect, and he will address what we struggled with in games. So that shows a good mentality that we're not just happy with wins, and not going to look at things critically, right? Because this is a long term thing.
Yeah.
You should never accept something in a win that you wouldn't in a defeat, right? If a player plays bad, they play bad, whether they win or
Yeah.
lose. So for me, yeah, the FA
Mm.
Cup would be my priority, but yeah. So go on.
You were
I
saying
guess.
something.
Oh, this.
No, I paused because you were saying something.
Yeah. No, my priority is the FA Cup. Like I would rather win the FA Cup than finish. I don't care where we finish if we win the FA Cup. Don't care. But yeah, just try to win every game possible. That's all. That's all. That's all we ask for. So
Yeah, but again, the FA Cup, I think, takes you to the Europa League these
we
days. I
can't.
think
We,
so
we ain't
because
qualified for the
anyone
champ.
who wins the Carabao Cup, it takes you to the Europa Conference League.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, because lots of cash injection has been injected into Newcastle, I
Yeah.
don't think Europa League is where you would really want to
Tony, we
really
ain't
be at.
qualifying
You
for
know, you
UCL.
spent
We
money.
ain't. We are not qualifying for UCL. How many points are we off? 10 points. I highly doubt we qualify for the UEFA Champions League. And Tony, we've qualified for the Champions League before.
No,
You've
I'm
seen
just
you've
saying
seen
it
Newcastle.
depends.
You've seen
It depends
Newcastle
on
play.
how English teams.
I was just gonna say, you've seen Newcastle
See,
play UEFA
Steve,
Champions League
it could
football.
still be up to 5 places for the Champions League.
Yes, but we aren't catching Villa. I don't
Yeah,
think
you
we
guys
are.
were woeful. I know that.
I don't think we'll catch. We're 10 points off. The priority is the
Hmm.
league. The priority is the FA Cup 100% for me. Because Tony, that's great with the UEFA Champions League and the revenue and all that stuff. I
Hmm.
saw that last year. Tick that off the wish list of things that I thought I'd never see at Newcastle. Us playing Champions League against Milan, Borussia Dortmund, and Paris Saint-Germain. So tick that off the list. Now the trophy. That's the one I need to see, and that's the one all Newcastle Newcastle fans want to see. And Tony, it's not a bad thing being in the Europa League when we were used to absolutely nothing for close to a decade. We qualified for the
Nothing.
we qualified for the Europa League in 2011-12 with Pardew, right? Ben Arfa, Kabay, Tiote, Tim
Yeah.
Krul, Demba Ba, Cisse, could go
Yeah.
on and on, right?
Tim Krul.
So that was the one
Mm.
that's the latest time before this season that we were in a European competition. We were in the championship. So look, Europa League, I would 100% take right now. 100%. Because again, it's another trophy on the line up for grabs that I would 100% take that
Yeah.
seriously. That's the name
Yeah.
of the game, Tony. It's the name of the
Would
game.
take that.
So
Exactly, Steve. Steve, see, you're going to be facing a different kind of opposition this time. Yeah, this time,
yeah.
you're at home at St James Park to Bournemouth in
Um,
this
yeah.
weekend on Saturday. See, Steve, yeah, talk to us, man. What do you think? That match would look like. Do you think you're gonna edge Bournemouth? Come on, man. You went to the City ground, yeah. Hit a Yeti, yeah, and Nottingham Forest fans, yeah, with the Congo slap. I call it the Congo slap. Yeah, it was a Congo slap. Good marriage, like this, scoring 2 goals, and Fabian Cha,
He was phenomenal.
at the end
He
of
was
it too.
phenomenal, man.
Man, it looked like a typical smash and grab. Yeah, that's how it looked like for me. It was a hotly contested one, but that slap looked bad. Yeah, and it tastes bitter
Yeah.
if you're a Nottingham Forest fan. But again, you face a familiar foe in Bournemouth. They make it a little bit difficult for you. They will come out. They will come out to attack. They do have a forward down there that is looking on increasing his tally. They will fight. They're physical in nature. You know how they play. In the first 10, 15 minutes, they might come out smoking, just the same way they did against Liverpool 2 weeks ago. Come out smoking in the first 10, 15 minutes. And if you're very, very unlucky, they might get a goal. And they just need a goal to just, turn up the ant. Do you think you have a different strategy to face Bournemouth coming up this weekend? Or do you think you would just, be at home, lay back, play, relax, play your own game, and see what you get against Bournemouth? What do you think?
I think it's going to be actually a really good game of football for the neutral. Just like how I said that when Luton played us at St. James's Park, I said before the game, that is a game where it doesn't look the flashiest, but I was like, that's going to be a good game of football for the neutral. Both teams can attack. Both teams are in form attacking wise, scoring goals for fun. So look, Bournemouth defensively, we can get at them, but the problem is we've been conceding 2, 3, 4, 5 goals on occasion. So look, Bournemouth also beat us 2-0 in November time. So
Yeah.
they've beaten us before this season. Andoni Areola is a good manager, going through a bit of a rough spell, but they've had some good wins in the FA Cup, beating Swansea 5-0 by halftime as well. Beat QPR 3-2. Gave a really good game and a good account of themselves versus Tottenham away on December 31st. Beat Fulham 3-0, beat Forest 3-2. But yeah, they've recently still playing well. And sometimes they're just not finishing some of their chances. But look, it's going to be a problem. Sinistera, Dominic Solanke is a big problem. Alex Scott has been a really good addition to that team. Marcus Tavernier is a good right winger. They have a really solid team, Bournemouth, and they can play some good possession football. So, and they have some good options off the bench. You can have Semenyo come on. You can have Dango Awatara come on. Romain Favre, Enes Unal. Some good players. Justin Kluivert as well. Those guys have been playing well. And they do have injuries. And, Philip Billing was missing for Bournemouth as well. So, it's a team that doesn't mind attacking at all, and they can keep possession of the ball, and we are conceding goals to everybody. So I think it'll be 100%. So I think it'll be a 3-3 draw. I can't lie. I could see that 100%. 3-3
draw. A 3-3 draw in St. James Park? In St. James
Luton
Park?
did 4-4. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Tony, our home form recently has not been the best.
Yeah, guys in the chat. Steve Mahala. Bombshell 3-3 prediction against Bournemouth. But see, just before we leave this Newcastle stuff, because of course, definitely we have to talk about Arsenal briefly. Before Arsenal, we'll talk about Manchester United and Aston Villa. and also the match they played last weekend. Steve Mahala, is Dominic Solanke the striker that have scored 13 goals? Okay, Steve is out, probably will coming back soon. Guys, yeah, see, I'm in particular a little bit concerned about Newcastle. Okay, Steve is back.
My bad. My bad. I hit the wrong button. Accidentally exited out. Sorry, what you were saying? Go on.
Yeah. Steve, yeah, just before we leave this topic about Newcastle, see, Dominic Solanke, the striker for Bournemouth, yeah, in 23 games this season, he scored 13 goals, 2 assists. That's an enviable record, at least from Dominic Solanke's standpoint. And of course, teams like Arsenal, teams like Chelsea have been muted to actually buy this guy. And in some spaces extensively, I've also heard that Newcastle might look to knock on the door of Bournemouth. Do you think Dominic Solanke has the profile of the kind of player that Newcastle would definitely be looking at? He doesn't have that big time European experience. I do get that, but again, he knows the league. He understands the league. He drove Bournemouth in the championship, scored lots of goals, came back at dwindling form last season, but see, this season he's been able to churn out 13 goals, 2 assists the season for Bournemouth, looking good. If it's in a more better team that he would get more service, this guy could actually destroy teams. Do you think Newcastle will have it at the back of their minds to actually go and knock on the door of Bournemouth and say, you know what, it was Dominic Solanke, 50 million, 60 million, you can get him. Do you think you'll be looking on closing a deal for Dominic Solanke? Is it the profile of striker you would want to see down there at Newcastle?
Yeah, I would take him as a Callum Wilson alternative 100%. I would sell Wilson, quite frankly, because of the injury problems are just too persistent. And it's just getting ridiculous at this point. He's 31 as well, so he is coming towards the end of his career. Not immediately, but it is dwindling down, and the injuries are making it very, very tough for him to see even a game through. So I would sell Callum Wilson, and I would bring in a Dominic Solanke. Look, I like the guy's movement. I like the guy's instincts. I think in previous years he was a bit too timid. And I feel like maybe Eddie Howe at the time didn't know how to utilize him necessarily. Maybe there's some confidence problems, but Iraola has put a lot of faith into him, and the play goes a lot through him. He's good at link-up play. I like his instincts. He scored some very nice goals this season. He's a decent finisher, a really decent finisher. And he doesn't get injured. So he would be a reliable backup to Alex Isak. And look, nobody thought really like super highly of Callum Wilson when we signed him from Bournemouth. And he's gone on to have a good career with Newcastle, scoring 50, 60 Premier League goals, which is the third most of any Newcastle United player in the Premier League era. So, just because he's from Bournemouth and just because he's having a bit of maybe you could say it's a purple patch, but he's also shown in some other seasons that he can score goals for fun if he's the focal point of the team. I like the player a lot, and I feel like he's improved a lot over the years. Honestly, man, look, what's the difference between him and Ivan Toney? Nobody wants to answer that question. Nobody wants to answer me that question. What's the difference between Ivan Toney's career trajectory and what's it called? And Dominic Solanke.
But come on, man. The difference is clear. He's a more complete product. He's a more complete.
No, I'm talking about Toney. I'm saying Tony. I'm saying career trajectory. Ivan Toney hasn't been scoring goals for fun in the Premier League since he's 21, 22, 23, 24. He's 27. He's had 2 good seasons. Why isn't this Dominic Solanke's good season? He has another one next year, and everybody regards him highly. Why? What is the difference? Some players just boom a bit later in their careers. Sometimes sometimes a certain manager it gets the best out of them compared to other managers. Sometimes it's a fitness thing. Sometimes it's a point in your life sort of thing. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't see the difference personally. I see the difference between the players, 100%. I see the difference, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
career trajectory. I'm talking about nobody regarded Ivan Toney very highly at Northampton Town when he was 23, 24. Nobody was raving about
Yeah.
him in the championship with Brentford next to Mbumo and who was the other one they had? Not Mope. I forget the guy's name they used to play with, but look, there was no hype around him. There wasn't. He is a late bloomer, Ivan Toney. He's very good. But
Yeah.
look, I think
Yeah, but as for me, I'll take an Ivan Toney. By the summer, Arsenal have to go in, for Ivan Toney. I prefer Ivan Toney. I think he's a more complete striker than Dominic Solanke. I think
I don't dispute that. I don't
again,
dispute that.
his charm is not only just scoring goals. His charm is also in link-up play, hold-up play, creating chances for the team, getting other players into space. He could score free kicks, set pieces is also a danger, in that pot. He's a more complete striker. I really, really like Ivan Toney. Yeah, his price might be a little bit overblown.
I do too. 100%.
Yeah, I don't really
Ivan
think
Toney.
it's what 100 million, but isn't
Yeah.
that sharp for a 60, 70 million pound player? Isn't that sharp? 60, 70 million.
Yeah, I think Solanke, you could. I would probably go 50, 60. But look, I don't want people to hop on this Solanke bandwagon train when next year, if he's doing the same exact thing with Bournemouth, if he's playing as
If he's
well
doing
as
the
he
same
is.
exact thing.
Yeah, because
Good.
people were because some people are saying he's never going to be a good player. It's just a purple patch. It's just this. It's just that. Fine, you put your line in the sand. You don't rate him, and whatever he does, it's apparently a purple patch. For me,
Yeah.
I think he is improving season upon season. Just because he didn't work out at Liverpool and Chelsea does not mean that he's rubbish, right? Ivan Toney didn't work out at Newcastle. Rafa Benitez sold him to Northampton Town all those years ago. So, it is what it is, man. Yeah, I think Solanke, I would
Yeah,
take him
see, man, it is what it is.
yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, let's move away from this topic. Yeah, let's go into briefly before going to Arsenal. Let's go into this Manchester United versus Aston Villa. You saw what happened, last week. Manchester United just edging, the win against Aston Villa. See, Aston Villa are beginning to look, a little bit. Looks like the pressure is getting to them little by little. Yeah, they lost one of their defenders, one of the strongest defenders. Yeah, they say have Pau Torres. One more injury to one of their front three, and it might be night for Aston Villa. Do you think they still have enough to get them over the line, or do you think if one of the strikers, let's say a Leon Bailey gets injured, is it night for for Aston Villa? Do you think they will still be in that chat for top four, or do you think that Manchester United, that like keeping things late in a way, do you think they might just have that bounce back and say, you know what, let's push through for this top four? What do you think, Steve Mahala?
I think, I actually do think Manchester United will catch Villa. I actually do think. I think Unai Emery needs to tactically change up a lot because they've grown stale. They've grown stale, predictable, easy to defend. The biggest thing for me is that when they're passing the ball from center to the wing, they don't do it quick enough. They don't have the correct pass. It was so easy for Dalot to read exactly what a Leon Bailey was going to do, or a Diaby or Watkins. It was predictable. Villa did have some good. They played good in that game for a good amount of 100%, but they only got the one goal to show for it. McGinn had that chance where Onana saved him point blank. That's a shot where you don't want the power is not the important part. You know a chance I'm talking about. McGinn, when he shot it It was point blank and Onana saved it, right? That wasn't a moment where you needed power.
Yeah.
That was all about placement. That was all about
Yeah.
placement. So I feel like, that moment there let him down. Onana made some good saves, to be fair, as well. So yeah, they're kind of dropping like a stone, to be honest. I think they'll probably finish 5th, to be honest. Because I do see Man United just, what's it called? I see them grinding out more results.
Yeah, just getting over games and glossing over games. Yeah.
And is it a crazy, and Tony, isn't it a crazy coincidence that when you finally have Rasmus Højlund, your striker, scoring goals for fun, 5 and 5, that the team looks a lot better when your center forward of your team is scoring goals? It's a good foundation to build upon, because you're like, okay, give the ball to that guy. That guy's probably gonna score, and then the rest of us can chip in, right? So they're doing well recently in terms of form. They haven't dropped any points since the Spurs draw, which was coming up on about a month ago or so. So, they're doing well. I think they might get 4th place, to be honest, because Villa, tactically, they aren't switching anything up enough for me. And Man United, Ten Hag is finally recognizing that you have to play the double pivot. You can't do the single. Introduction of Kobe Minu has been huge for that team alongside Casemiro. They have some stability in their team, and they're getting results consistently. Sometimes the performances aren't amazing, but to be fair, they are racking up points. So
they're raking up points, But again, do you see Manchester United edging that top 4 position in any way?
Yeah, I actually do have
to
them.
To be very sincere with you, Aston Villa is on the decline. Chelsea just beat them up in the FA Cup. They look on the decline. They're losing players. Manchester United are looking more stronger. Their striker is scoring goals. Yeah, exactly. So do you see Manchester United gazump in that 4th place position?
Yeah, I do, honestly. I don't like them, but yeah, if I'm just being objective about things and what I'm seeing from them, yeah, it does look like they can go on a consistent run of form, and pick up wins. So yeah, I do think they'll get that, to be honest.
Okay, Steve Mahala, we enter into the last 10 minutes of the show. Steve, Arsenal. Arsenal. See, I don't know what you think. I don't want to sound squeaky and all, bro, man. What we did to West Ham last weekend, man. From your own eyes, you're a Newcastle fan. You're a rival down here, man. See, just talk up what Arsenal did to West Ham, man. See, because a few weeks ago, you were one of those on a show I had with you, and you said, hey, Mikel Arteta isn't switching things up, isn't doing this, isn't doing that. I saw the interchange between Kai Havertz and Trossard. It was beautiful football. He mixed it up finally. What I've been telling Mikel Arteta to do since. Jezza have been saying it. Yeti have also been saying it. Without us mixing up things, we can't go anywhere. I've been saying it. Kenny Ken have been saying it. Finally starting to mix things up a little bit. Starting putting players that should, be in the mix. Trossard in the mix. Martinelli played quite well and in position. What do you have to say about that Arsenal win against West Ham, man? Where does this put Arsenal? Do you think it's when they start to challenge for real, or do you still think we're pretenders?
Well, if you keep playing like that, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that you should be challenging for the league. If you can play even 25% of that, even half of that, right? That was magical, to be honest. Watching football and the Premier League since about 2014. I've watched a lot of Arsenal games, not as many as you, but I've seen a lot of them. That's probably the best Arsenal performance I've seen. That's probably the best Arsenal performance I have seen since 2014, since I've been watching. If you have any others, let me know. But...
Oh, come on, man. We beat PSV. We beat PSV in the Champions League. That was a good one.
That was
5-0 or something like that. We beat Sheffield United, I think 6-0.
No, Tony.
hat-trick
This
anyway.
performance
Come on,
was
man. We've had
remarkable.
quite a few
Tony,
games that looks good this season, man.
100%. But I'm saying that was a complete beatdown. Yeah. And the good thing was for you guys is that it wasn't just you were scoring 6, you were limiting West Ham to 2 shots on target. You know what I'm saying? So look, their form has been very poor lately, but nobody puts up 6 against West Ham regularly, which is why I don't diminish it. It was phenomenal what Arsenal did to West Ham. To be fair, it was a phenomenal performance, and I wouldn't diminish that because not everybody's beating West Ham 6-0. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
You guys were
Exactly. It doesn't happen to David Moyes' team.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah,
So
it
look,
doesn't. It clearly sets up well, you know.
Arteta is doing a fantastic job of late of the management and tactical side of the game, 100%. And that's why I never say he's a bad coach, he's a bad manager, he's rubbish, nobody would want him. That's why I don't say those things. I say that he has good ideas, and I like the style of football that when Arsenal are playing brilliantly, they are red hot. But the consistency and sometimes the tinkering can sometimes affect the performances and results. So for me, the Trossard introduction has been a godsend again. Ironically, this time last year during March, Trossard was unplayable, absolutely unplayable. Trossard.
Yeah.
He won your player of the month in March.
He couldn't even get opportunities to play.
Yeah, exactly. After March, no reason. For no reason.
Just dumps him on the bench.
So that will be the test. That will be the test to see if Arsenal can keep a winning side on the pitch when when most people are fit and available. Obviously, if you don't have a player available, you have to swap them out if they're absent, right? But if Trossard's healthy, who cares if Gabriel Jesus comes back? You could go on the bench until Trossard starts playing poorly, and then it's your turn. It's a meritocracy. It's a meritocracy. And Trossard, the goal was he had 2 goals.
Meritocracy.
He had 2 goals, I believe. Trossard, he was unbelievable. Unbelievable performance from Trossard. That goal that he took from the left. Oh my word. That was sensational.
That was a delight. And again, he's scoring against big teams. He's scoring against mediocre teams. He's also scoring against small teams.
Yeah,
that lovely goal he scored against Liverpool. Come on, man. He's scoring against a cross-section of teams, that if you want it against the big teams, he's that guy. If you want it against teams that keep an extreme low block, he's that guy. If it's those teams that, want to still come out, in a balanced way while defending also, he's that guy. Like, he's shown it. I don't know why this guy isn't rated highly in Mikel Arteta's book. I just don't know why. Again,
well, he needs to be, Tony, because
I'm not a big fan of Gabriel Jesus coming back from injury and entering straight back at first 11. I think that should stop. Right now that Gabriel Jesus is already back right now. Let him start from the bench. Yeah, it's a meritocracy, as you talked about. Let him come back to full match fitness, starting from the bench, seeing what Trossard is doing, coming in and playing from the bench. I don't want any member of my team to start thinking that I have a divine right to a set number in this team. You have to fight for your place. If you're coming from injury, sit down, take a cue from the bench, get to full match fitness, and watch other people, kick at it. But see, Steve Mahala, Thomas Partey is there to be back. Who's coming back again? Tomiyasu is coming back from injury also. We're getting, Arsenal is coming back to full fitness because I just heard that Thomas Partey would also be coming back, quite soon, maybe this week. Jurrien Timber will be coming back.
Cross your fingers.
Jurrien Timber will be coming back next week, actually. See, Steve Mahala, what do you think? Having Thomas Partey back, having Jurrien Timber back next week, Of course, I heard that Thomas Partey is coming back next week too. Who else again? But see, we,
Yeah.
we have the important core that have been injured. Tomiyasu is also coming back after a niggle after he came back from the Asian Cup with Japan. He's back. So we have three amazing players coming back. For that title run in. What do you think? Do you think this is vintage Arsenal against the likes of Man City and Liverpool?
For me, if I were in Arsenal's position, if I was a fan, player, coach, someone associated, take it game by game, bro. Man City, y'all got them in 3-4 games. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, right? Don't count your chickens before you hatch. Just deal with what's in front of you, game by game by game. It's always fun to look forward to the other fixtures, obviously. Like, the Porto game is much more exciting of a prospect than Burnley away. But that's the thing. You as a fan can think that. But the players will be focused game by game. They should be, right? They're top-tier professionals. These are the 1% of the 1% of athletes and footballers in the world of 7 billion odd people. So you would think that they have that mentality to kind of make it. So, yeah, just take care of business. It's like that meme with the Grim Reaper. Knocks on the door and he's got the sickle and he's slashing guys. Move on to the next door. Slash them, move on to the next door. Slash them, move on to the next door. Because that's what Man City do. That's what Man City do. That's what Liverpool have shown can do.
Sure.
Man United are kind of on that right now, where they're just game by game. They don't have Europe to deal with. They're in the FA Cup. They're dealing with their games. They're just getting wins over the line. So that's what Arsenal got to do, man. That's what Arsenal got to do. So.
Steve. Oh, Oregon Gunner. He gifts the channel 5 new. Oh my jeez. Big ups to Oregon Gunner. He gets a po. Oregon Gunner. How you doing, fellow American? See, your fellow American is down here. Oregon Gunner, my brother, my guy, Steve Mahal is down here. Oregon Gunner, thanks for dishing out 5 new memberships, for channel members. Big ups to you, man. God bless you. Steve, yeah. Arsenal goes to face Burnley this weekend. What do you think? Burnley have conceded a whooping 50 goals. Steve Mahala, pause. 50 goals this season in 24 matches. Steve, talk to us. Do you think these guys are going to get a slapping at Tough Moor? Look at what we did to West Ham. See, I'm not trying to sound all, hyper positive or whatever. But Steve, I would say it again. Look at what we did to Liverpool. Look at what we did to West Ham.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the same kind of fate that awaits Burnley at Tough Moor? What do you think? Take it away.
I think Burnley have a goal in them. They do like going forward, and they don't mind attacking whatsoever. They'll be a bit reckless and naive at times, but Company has his principles, stands by them, stands on business sort of thing. So Burnley do have that threat to offer. They have some good wingers. I like the way they play football. They're not the Burnley of old, obviously, right? They play some good football. I just think the personnel, they could use some upgrading in a few departments, particularly right back. But yeah, defensively, they just haven't been at the standard at all. So yeah, I think you'll probably get like a 4-1 win or something like that. Probably 4-1.
So well, okay. No, it's good that you're actually respecting Arsenal's gangster right now. Where was this 5 weeks ago? Never gave Arsenal a chance.
What do you mean? Where was it? 3, 4, 5.
Arsenal, got on this and right now you want to jump on the bandwagon of Arsenal right now. Come on, man.
Pause. Hold on. Hold your horses. Were you playing Burnley 4 or 5 weeks ago? Yes or no?
No, but we played Fulham.
Cool. Have you guys been playing very good? Have you guys been playing very good football and you're off of a 6-0 win? Did that happen 4 weeks ago or last week?
Not that we're playing particularly bad anyway, but we're not getting
I
the
wasn't saying you were
results.
playing bad. I said there were
Not that
things
we're
that
not
needed to
having the
improve.
ball possession in games.
Yeah, I was wrong about the Liverpool game, Football Bands channel. 100%. I was wrong about that. 100% I was wrong about that. I thought Liverpool were going to win 2-0 and they didn't.
Yeah. Football bands. Thanks for reminding Steve
Hey,
Mahala
man.
about that, man. He
And you know
gloated
what?
for Liverpool. He
Credit.
gloated for Liverpool.
No, I would never gloat for I hate Liverpool way more. I don't hate Arsenal, bro. I hate Liverpool. I can't stand those
No,
guys.
but you did say in the charts, yeah, and you did say that they're gonna smash us. You said
No,
they
I
were gonna
said it
smash us,
2-0.
Steve
I said
Mahala.
it 2-0. I
You
thought it
said
would
there
be a
was no
comfortable.
hell in fury, yeah, no chance for
I
Arsenal
thought
on
it
the
would
day.
be a
That's what you said.
I got it wrong. I will never say that I didn't say something, bro.
Okay.
I thought Liverpool were going to win 2-0 in relative comfort. That was based off of the FA Cup game, but you guys turned up and performed. Credit to you. I was obviously wrong. So, hey, that's part of the game, bro. Sometimes your predictions don't work out, but
Yeah.
100% I'll give you guys credit for that win. It was a very, very big win. Very big win.
Steve,
So, and yeah.
Steve, just before we go, Steve Mahala, Arsenal faces Porto in the Champions League matchup. See, Steve, I know you're a proponent. You're a big proponent of European football. In fact, I call you. See, guys in the charts, no one should call Steve Mahala again. I don't want to hear it on my channel. If you want to talk to Steve, call this guy. He's a legend in my book. Yeah, call this guy the Google of football. Anyone who calls him Steve is getting a ban on my channel. Only me can call him Steve. Yeah. If you want to talk to him, just say the Google of football. That's the honor he gets down here. See ya, Steve Mahala. Arsenal faces Porto in our Champions League game. You know, I know you do like this European nights. These are the nights you live for, my brother. Talk to us about FC Porto, yeah? What do you think, are those points that Arsenal need to actually plug in before we go face this Porto guys? Name me a few of the points, guys, down there that we really need to put into consideration. Should we be afraid of facing Porto in Portugal in the first leg next week? What do you think will be the ramifications? What are the key battle maps? What is going to be the problem when we go to Portugal, my brother? Talk to us, man. Talk to
us. Porto are Jekyll and Hyde as they come. Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes they look brilliant with Evan Nielsen, Pepe, Tony Martinez, Taremi doesn't really play too much for them, but he's a well-known name. Francisco Conceição, obviously Sergio Conceição, the manager's son. He's a good player. I like the Portuguese Pepe is still playing, and then they have a 26-year-old Pepe who's Brazilian. The other one's Portuguese. I like the midfield pairing of Grujic and Stephen Eustáquio. Eustáquio is a very well-rounded midfielder, and Grujic has some very good passes, links up very well with the wings, with Evan Nielsen. But they're Jekyll and Hyde, bro. They lost 3-2 to Estrela, which they're in 7th place right now. To be fair, that's a very good season for Aruca. Sorry, they're playing Estrela in their next game. Then they also drew 0-0 with Rio Ave, who had a red card. Drew 0-0 at Porto's ground at the Dragão. So they're just very hit and miss, bro. They're very hit and miss. Sometimes they'll turn up, sometimes they don't. Regarding their Champions League form, they score goals for fun. They really do. But they also give up a few. So, Porto actually had the same amount of points as Barcelona, but lost the head-to-head versus them. So, look, I expect you guys to advance, but it might be tricky at times. But you just have to beware that Porto can sometimes look really bang average in terms of possession, in terms of real momentum. They struggle to generate momentum in a game. If a team is putting pressure on them, they sometimes fold and they struggle to keep passes ticking. I like Grujic and Eustáquio, but it's just that they're hot and they're cold. Really, like Katy Perry, man, hot and cold. Yes, and your no. So look,
hot and cold. Exactly.
No, but they are. They really are.
Yeah, thanks.
They really are.
Yeah, yeah. See, Steve, man, thanks for popping into the show. I want to take a bite, yeah. Just on one last one, man. See, Steve, one last one. You know, bro, one last one, Steve, yeah, just before you go.
Mm.
See, yeah, Steve, we're all complaining about Arsenal not having a striker. I just want to hear your idea on this one. Right now, Arsenal have scored 16 goals in 4 games. Steve
Yeah.
Mahala, like, what striker? That's what it's in the mouth of all these Arsenal fans. Not in my mouth. I'm just the radio guy talking about, this issue in the first place. I've been demanding for a point, man, last summer, this January transfer window. But again, Steve Mahala, in 4 games, 16 goals, make that make sense. And Arsenal doesn't have a striker. Talk to us, man.
You're playing well as a team, spreading the goals around. Trossard is doing a fantastic job, like I said. Martinelli, you have that. He looks a bit better. Didn't score against West Ham, I don't think, but played a good game. Saka as well. And the whole Declan Rice on set pieces thing, that's been a great move as well. That's a big reason why you guys are scoring some goals from set pieces for Declan Rice. On corners and free kicks. That's been a very good move. To be fair, I didn't know Rice had that as
And
a
Gabriel
player.
Magalhaes has been good in set pieces too.
Yeah,
Gabriel Magalhaes has been
dominant.
he's
Dominant.
also been
Scoring goals
exceptional this season.
in both boxes. Gabriel Magalhaes has been a huge factor defensively and offensively
He has been immense.
aerial duels and all that stuff. Yeah, he's fantastic, bro. I've always liked Gabriel Magalhaes. So if you keep up that good form, you could do something special this year, 100%.
Why didn't you just say if you keep that form, you would win the league? Oh, Steve, man.
I don't think you
will. Come on, man. If you were in the Liverpool channel, you would say if you keep up that form, you're gonna win the league. You never say that about Arsenal. Oh my God.
Because there's a difference, Tony. They've been there and done that. Man City have been there and done that. When you guys do it, I will give you a hell of a lot of praise. You know me, Tony. I don't BS nobody.
I know you, brother.
I can banter if I want to, but I like to take this seriously. I like talking football with people. If Arsenal do the business, if you win a Champions League or a Premier League this year, I will give you full credit for that, 100%. Because I don't see you doing that. You do the unexpected. That's a big deal.
I understand that. Yeah, and I understand that. See, guys, we've come to the end of the show. Steve Mahala has given us 1 hour, 13 minutes. Yeah. See, Longet Yete is back in the charts, man. Nice to see you back, man, a little bit. I hope you you get better, my friend, man. Thanks for coming to troll me today. I really like it. And I hope you'll be here to troll Deji Sports, who comes in 7:30 p.m. See, guys, Deji Sports has been ducking the channel. He's been running away. See, guys, he comes back. Wolfie was to come down here today, but I sort of kind of like misplaced the whole, the whole day. So it will be tomorrow that Wolfie will be coming down here. But Deji Sports comes here 7:30. Let's make this place a hostile place for him as it comes down to talk about how he's going to slay Arsenal and how he's going to win the league. 7:30 p.m. today, just before the Champions League. Guys, don't go anywhere. Come down here and shout down Deji Sports in the charts. Big ups to you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Steve Mahala, talk to these people. Tell them what you got coming up in your channel. Because I know you have Champions League popping up soon. So what do you think, man? And talk to these people and shout out your channel.
Yeah, I think I'll be doing a watch along tomorrow for Europa League. Champions League tonight. I'll be on Carefree Lewis's channel supporting Lazio. Lazio Bayern tonight, and PSG Real Sociedad. That's a big game too. Very excited to see how that goes. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Big up, Tony. Thanks for having me on, bro. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, man. Steve, man, thanks, man. Thanks for always showing up down here. I know you're in demand everywhere. Everywhere you're in demand. But come on, man, you just came down to, show me love down here, man. Big ups to you.
100%.
Big ups to Oregon Gunnerz. That's another collaborator on this channel. Love you so much, my brother. He gifted 5 memberships today. Big up to you, Oregon Gunnerz. See, guys, go subscribe to Longet Yeti. That's another brother of mine too. In this business, we're all brothers down here, but I call the people that I work closely with brothers. So Yeti, he has earned that right for me to call him brother. Big up to him. Big ups to Steve's channel. Go down there, smash the likes on Steve's channel. Follow him up, which is watch alongs coming up tomorrow in the Europa League. That's another brother of mine. See you guys. Big up to you. Join me on the next one against Deji Sports, 7:30 p.m. Don't miss that one for anything. Me and him are going to get into heated arguments today, man. He might be leaving with a Congo slap today. Yeah. And tomorrow, Wolfie's coming to the channel tomorrow, guys. Wolfang Division, go subscribe to his channel too. That's on the brother of mine too. And Football Band, that's on the brother. Go subscribe to Football Band's channel. I work closely with my right hand guy. So big ups to everyone and see you soon. Big ups from me and Steve.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.